So today I'm going to be pouring my second attempt at my peacock feather inspired 3D bloom tray. I'm using the Geode mold from Pouring Your Heart Out, which actually holds quite a bit of resin. I think the last time I weighed it off the piece I did, it was around 676, almost 700 grams. So it actually takes quite a bit, and that includes the backing. And when I fill this up initially to do the bloom, I only fill it up halfway. And today I'm using UltraCast by EliChem. If you guys are familiar with my channel, that's actually my favorite resin to do 3D blooms in. I just really like how it works. It's got a longer working time on it. And I don't necessarily feel like I have to rush through it. So that's why I like it quite a bit, especially when I'm working on a larger piece. And right now I'm just making sure that my resin is going out to the edges of my tray mold. And I'm going around spreading it out, as you saw earlier, with my popsicle stick, kind of like cake icing. And now I'm going through it with my silicone brush just to release some of the air bubbles from the outer edges. And this didn't really, I don't know what I'm thinking, but it didn't turn out necessarily how I had wanted it, but I don't know if I'm gonna get it to be how I'm envisioning it. Using a 3D bloom technique, I think I might have to do something else, but I'm not completely unhappy with this result. It's just not what I have in mind. And actually this is also my first time doing a bloom using the resin inks from Octopus Fluids. Normally I use an alcohol ink, but this time I use the resin inks. I do think these are technically also an alcohol ink, but they are highly, I don't know if you'd call it highly pigmented, or a super saturated color, because they're very potent. You get really nice, deep, rich colors with these resin inks. And that first one I used what's called night blue, and then I did Aronia, and then I'm going around this edge with petrol. I thought those would make nice peacocky kind of colors. And why I'm pouring this way with the inks is I'm trying to do almost like a teardrop shape. When you think of a peacock feather, that's kind of from the center to the way out. That's what it reminds me of. It's the simplest shape I can think of, as like a teardrop. And I really like that night blue color. It reminds me of midnight blue, the color that used to be my favorite color when I was a kid with Crayola crayons. I love those. So I really like that color a whole bunch. And I actually did also use the Let's Resin, the copper gold again, which you'll see here in a minute as I just go around. There it is. My edges, just to kind of add a little bit of sparkle. And then I used JustResin's titanium white for my white, and I actually, you'll see I use a piping bag, and I kind of just go, I divide the tray more or less in two, and then I just wiggle the lines a little bit closer together, similar to the shape of the outside edge of the tray. And then I did draw some diagonal lines. That's my center line. I did draw some diagonals after I had got it all piped in, just to try to give it more of that feathery type effect. But you guys will see just how I do it. And I will just go ahead from here and put you on a time lapse. My apologies. And you can see how this comes together, and I will see you at the demolding. Bye. So here's the back of it after it dried, and I did back this. I did it with just a clear backing, and I used some white Plumeria from Laura's Art Corner in it just to give it some shimmer. I'm just turning it over, and this is how the final tray came out. I actually wish I would have made the eye more towards the bottom and bigger, true to a real peacock flower. But here's me zooming in on the feathering, which actually I'm pretty pleased with. It still came out pretty cool. I appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day. Take care. Till next time. Bye-bye.